confusing you a bit there, so that has changed now. And we have another match starting out here in just a second. This is going to be Steel Clubbers over on the red team taking on Tallywhacker Gang on the blue team. So let's see how it goes in just a second here. The match is going to be starting in 10 seconds. And as we're going to see, both sides are going to be stacking swiftness like we're seeing here now. And that lightning field is going to allow them to stack swiftness. And well, it's going to allow them to move a bit quicker to these points. Let's look over the map though and check out the splits, see how it's going.
Seize theirs.
And as we see, both teams are possibly going to go for cross. Nah. Both teams are being very extremely cautious, engaging in the middle, as we're about to see here, but we do have the fight already engaged here. Blue team's really just going to jump up here, so that might be an interest for them, though, as we do have Dark Pizza, or Dark, I'm sorry, what's his name? Yep, Dark Pizza, coming in there and knocking everyone into the point, though, leaving no one up there in order to free cast, and he himself is actually going to come back over here, trying to get the cross cap rolling, so we are going to have a bit of a 1v1 taking place over here as well. Ooh, and we might have seen a juke there as well by Dark Pizza. Oh, very nicely played. The blue team engineer almost saw him, but he did manage to juke himself around and get himself into that point. Extremely well played by Dark Pizza, and it is going to allow him to decap that point right off the bat. But at the same time, we do have blue team's engineer coming in to try and decap Temple. Is the thief going to be able to fall back in time? And yeah, he is. So we are going to see that be contested for some time. And red team is going to have a 2-cap advantage here to start this match off. Back over middle, no one is down as of yet. However, Gable is getting extremely low here. Did manage to pop his heal though, and Electrex is actually going to be the first person to get knocked out here now as he pops this one, trying to get some support for his teammates, but blue team is just really surrounding him at all points. Did have that Shatter Refuge go off, which is going to keep him alive for the next couple seconds, though, but there's going to be a lot of AoE damage coming out. Is he going to be able to survive it? And Elixir R is actually going to come in along with a big old bomb, which might allow him to get himself up, and yes, he will. Electrohex will be getting brought back into this, and Gibble Gabble along with along with Flex Gubba, oh my goodness, these names, are going to be brought back into this fight, but Gibble unfortunately will be knocked out there now, giving red team the advantage here at this point as well. Back over at Temple, I think we did have a Tallywhacker Gang take control over that point now, so they're going to get that, and it is still going to be tied at 1-1. However, red team with a lot of decaps so far on the other side points did manage to get their lead rolling at the moment, 53 points to 18 points, but obviously it's still extremely early in the game. We do have people down on both sides, so Neuron is down as well as Electrohex, but Electrohex is in a bit of trouble here now, does not have any utility. Psychopath is going to come in and knock back, but Flex Gubba is going to try to come in here now and try to deal some damage, going to go in for the full stomp now, and will get it off successfully, which is going to knock Electrohex off, again turning this fight in favor of Tallywhacker Gang, as we're going to see here now. Let's go to Vextizia's point of view, the Elementalist here, who is running, I think he's running Scepter Dagger. I thought he was running Staff for a second there, so, but apparently not. And as we're seeing now, we do also have Dark Pizza going down, but he possibly will be getting himself up there now. I don't think they're going to be able to do the damage necessary to keep him down, and Dark Pizza is going to get res back up once more. Psycho Pen at the same time did go down here now. We did have the Elixir R down where he was down, so we did manage to get a tick or two of that off, but there could see possible stops going. I think Tallywhacker Gang was more occupied trying to get their own teammates up here now. Tallywhacker Psycho Pen does have access to that Symbol of Judgment now, which is going to allow him to keep himself in this for a bit longer. Does have that knockback as well, which he is going to utilize properly. Dark Pizza's down once more as well. Two members of the red team are down, which has allowed blue team to fully cap this action. Dark Pizza is not down. I apologize for that. And they're going to try to get coming in here now and res Psycho Pen, but unfortunately, the pressure from Tallywhacker Gang just appears to be a bit too much for Psycho Pen to handle here now. Dark Pizza, Psycho Pen, and Third Date are all down back over here now, so blue team might be getting a significant lead in just a second here. Going over now, let's check out Flex Gubba here, who is holding this point strong. Actually, no, they're actually going on at the moment there. I'm going to open the map actually to see what else we got going on. We do have blue team sort of looks like they're going to be trying to move themselves over to Altar. Back over here at the Temple, though, we do have that fight still erupting. Oh, an extremely close fight, actually. TWG was just, Leaf Physialis was just knocked out there now. Did manage to get himself up with an Elixir R. Unfortunately, Electrox does not have access to such utility, so he's going to be knocked out here. And Leaf Physialis is just going to sit here with two down bodies, knocking him back. Psycho Pan's going to come in here in just a second, though, and might manage to save the day now. He does need to get his teammates up. Oh, actually, two members of Steel Clubbers are going to be coming in here trying to save the day. Oof, is going to interrupt that now, just trying to stalemate as long as possible now. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough as Electrohex does get pulled back in this fight, and with two other members of Steel Clubbers here, it's not looking good for Tallywhacker Gang at this point, which, in all honesty, does sort of make sense here now. It'd be a bit hard for them to hold 3 points, and apologies for the Skype messenger. I'm going to beat that right now. There we go. Much better. Oops, apologies, didn't do it correctly. There we go. Alright, that's much better. Alright, so Steel Clubbers just currently hold 1 point. However, they are down by about 20 points. And as well, while all that was happening, blue team did manage to get stillness in their favor back to their points now. So they are holding 2 points. And as we're seeing now, a lot of teams do this on a lot of other maps as well. We're seeing them, you can sort of see how they're spread out right now. They're sort of just holding a line of defense. And as one of their teammates called out that they were all moving up here, all the blue team members sort of shifted back over here to Altar in order to defend it properly, which I think they are going to be able to do now with this fallback. But a Poku Snake at the moment, who as well is sort of possibly falling back, maybe regretting regretting his decisions, is going to come back into this now. As he moves back up, there are going to be 3 members of TWG trying to, unfortunately, Lee Physialis is not going to be able to take the burst from 4 people. She's going to get knocked out. Didn't even manage to get that Elixir R down. So unfortunately, she is going to get knocked out there. Bextizia as well is in a bit of trouble here now. She's extremely low, and Poku Snake is going to knock her out as well. So it's not looking good for Tallywhacker King, despite the nice fallback and spotting that they had on there on Seal Clubber's move. It does look like Seal Clubbers is still going to utilize that properly and take this point back for their team. Let's check on the map and see what else got going on at the moment. Nothing else really going on besides that, but it does look like Red Team is going to get their second point over there. Rather, Red Team Seal Clubbers is going to get their second point back over there and get that back for themselves. And from there, back over here at the gate, we have a bit of a one-on-one engaged as well. Unfortunately, Seal Clubbers does appear to be on the losing end of this, as the 2v2 is engaged with the Guardian being lower, so it does look like TWG is going to hold this strongly, or rather strong. But they are in a bit of trouble now, as they need to get that second point. They do have somewhat of a healthy lead for the time being, but it's going to dissipate pretty quickly now, as Red Team holds 2 points and brings that back in for themselves. No buffs to benefit either side at the moment, and we are going to see Dark Pizza in just a second. Oh, almost knocked him off there now, but they are just probably going to delay the kill, as we're about to see here now. He's going to get knocked down in just a second. Dark Pizza is going to get thrown down, and unfortunately doesn't have that elixir to help him out this time, so he's going to get knocked out in just a second. Let's check back over here at the altar, where we have a pretty big team fight about to happen. 2 members of TWG going up against 3 members of Seal Clubbers, 1 left, and just stuck to the numbers advantage there as well. So let's check out Third Date's point of view. We haven't looked at him yet today. Let's see how he's rolling at the moment. Actually, a portal pop is going to allow them to evacuate, I believe, in the direction of the gate now. And yeah, we are seeing them fall back to gate now. So I think Blue Team does have to group themselves up a little bit and find their position. We do see a decap coming over here from Lee Physialis, getting back the temple point in favor of their team now, and allowing themselves to possibly come back into this now. Again, though, they're not really capitalizing on it. They're really just sending one, and I think what we're seeing at this point is they're really just sending 1 to 2 people to points, not really going for these rushes. And because Seal Clubbers is almost zerging, what appears to be. I mean, from what I've seen, at least they've been going to points in huge numbers. It's either a zerging between altar and temple at this point, and don't get me wrong, that could be the completely wrong call in that strategy. And it's sort of countering TWG, because TWG is not moving as a group at all here. They were to altar, but beyond that, they've sort of just been sending 1 to 2 people to points, and because of that, Seal Clubbers has been able to utilize that and just zerg to points and just take them out 1 by 1 and allow themselves to hold these 2 points. But while this is happening, unfortunately, Seal Clubbers was a bit ignorant of what was happening, and they now missed the buff spawn and did allow TWG Flex to get the triple cap now buff, and possibly get this above ground buff as well. This might be a full GG in all honesty if TWG gets his buff. Oof, that is gonna hurt Seal Clubbers now, unfortunately, because of this. What just happened there? They managed to get both buffs of these, and is now going to allow TWG to have a full virtual 6 caps. They're pretty much just going to be trickling points. It's going to be extremely hard from this point, unless we see some serious decaps in the next couple seconds here for Steel Clubbers to come back into this. Checking back over here now at Temple, we do have Steel Clubbers taking control of that. Back at the gate as well, they do have some pretty nice progress, but I think TWG is going to be coming in to reinforce that in just a second here now. We do have Gabble getting low. His third date is actually doing a pretty nice job of keeping them off the point, but as we saw here with the additions of these buffs, TWG went from, I believe 250 points to 400 points in about, I'd say about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, so they've gained a pretty significant lead at this point, and they're now up by a little over 100 points now, which is going to be a pretty crucial lead to them, and as they are approaching victory with that buff as well, another buff is going to be spawning in about, I believe, a minute and a half, so if they get that one, it could be GG at this point. Third date as well, sort of holding on at the moment. But it does seem like TWG is in a bit of trouble here at this point. TWG didn't seem to be having trouble in the team fights. Unfortunately, because of the buff grabs they were able to get, they were able to get a pretty significant lead this fight, as we're seeing right now. And let me see here now. As Seal Clubbers hold strong on this point. I think TWG is just trying to keep it contested. Oh, but while that was happening, they lost Alter as well. Electrox managed to sneak in here and get this. Unfortunately, Electrox isn't a 1v3 scenario now, as we're seeing TWG Neuron, as well as getting someone low here. I hate the prefixes on names. Electrox getting knocked down here, as Flex tries to come in for the stomp. Blue team is going to recapture that, but it has at the very least bought Seal Clubbers some time. Oh, and as Electrox actually goes off the point, unfortunately, so that is going to allow them to bleed the body out if they want, which I don't believe they're actually going to do. So Gabagill is going to stomp him out there now and move himself on.
Just like that.
But I think I'm going to pull back my prediction there. I think Seal Clubbers does have a chance to bring this back. With the 2-cap, it's going to be rough, and they need to get that top buff. But I think Seal Clubbers does have a chance of coming back. TWG is up at the moment, 440 points, and Red Team is down, but keep on with 2 capture points at 360 points for the time being. Like I said, I do think that Seal Clubbers has a chance of bringing this back. They just need to be extremely crafty, and they need to definitely utilize those decaps that they've been getting on side points like they have been the whole game. But they are holding 2 points strong, loading up the map. It's sort of just, a very bulky team fight there, as we do have Dark Pizza down. Actually, no, Dark Pizza was just rezzed up there now, so he's back in this fight. Gabble Gibble as well is in a bit of trouble as Third Date comes on him. Third Date actually running with, I believe, Pistol Whip, actually. You never see that, so it's a very interesting build that he's running there, and Gabble Gibble's just holding off on 2v1 for the time being. We do have the Stillness buff up now, though, so guys, I think this Stillness buff could determine the winners of this game. Keep in mind, if this takes on for too long, we just could see TWG taking it from point stagnation. Checking in over here now, we definitely see signs of Seal Clovers sort of wanting to sneak in to try and decap Alter. We do have a 1v1 engage, and then Third Date was trying to sneak his way in there as well. So Dark Pizza as well as the Engineer on the blue team are sort of duking it out at the moment here now. As we're seeing Dark Pizza get knocked down, unfortunately, and Lee Fizziaus is going to take him out and hold that point for his team. And let's check in back over here. Seal Clubbers does not have control of this buff yet, and I think TWG realizes this. Seal Clubbers needs to get this buff if they want any chance of winning, and even then, at this point, I think it might be a very close matchup here, but definitely we need to see Seal Clubbers getting this buff here now. We do have Gibble Gabble getting extremely low, or Gabble Gibble getting low here now. He is going to get knocked out, and we are going to see Blue Team falling back to res him now as well, and more members falling down to the bottom now. We're going to see Electro Hex here try to come in for the channel. Unfortunately, it does get interrupted there now. And only 12 points away in favor of Blue Team now. If they manage to hold this off for another 10 seconds, or rather 20 seconds, and they're going to win this, not even including kills. Checking in, I think, unfortunately, that the red team has accepted their defeat. GG's have been called, guys. And unfortunately for Seal Clubbers, Tallywhacker Gang is going to take this one.